You lot will complain about, oh yeah, this babe's rinsed me. I spent more than I had planned. That's your fault. No, come closer, come. I repeat, that is your fault.
My baby looking too good, yeah, she perfect. No, she worth it. When she pull up, all them man, them flirting. And yeah, she know that she a dime. Call up on my line, told her, baby, bring it one time. Yeah, girl, sit down and relax. Girl, let me put it on you, no time for chit-chat. Because she move like a queen.
Yo, what's really good though? It's your girl, yezziyezzir, and you are locked into another episode of Hey Sis. How you doing? What's good? We got a lot to get off today. I've dubbed myself a social commentator. Yes, that's right. I'm going to speak on the things, not in a kind of nitpicky way, but constructive. That's what it is. Constructive criticism. And we got a lot to unpack today, a lot. If you are listening to this at work or while you're driving or if you're just watching at home, I hope you're good. There's a lot of things I need to get off from the top of the episode, but you want to see me win, don't you? Imagine AY is there. You want to see us win? You want to see Hey Sis win? Well, this is how we're going to win. First things first, we are on the road to hitting 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. The reason why we're not there yet is because not everyone's subscribing. So if you can take literally 10 seconds to just subscribe, that would be great. Appreciate you, love. The next goal, we're trying to hit 10,000 followers on our Instagram. It is HeySis_UK because we international. Again, follow us on that one. And then what else do we have left? That's about it, you know. I mean, you can follow me on TikTok with that one. And obviously, we are exclusively on Spotify. So if you are listening or you're watching and sometimes you want to be able to listen because maybe you're concentrating on something visually like driving, we are on Spotify as Hey Sis UK. Now that we got all of that off, let's get into it. A clip has gone viral of Mr. Harry Pinero, HP like the sauce. If you don't know, now you know. I want to call him a comedian, an influencer, YouTuber, presenter, all the above. Funny guy. Funny guy, cool guy, I like him. But there's a clip that made me go, rah. A lot of young men, obviously this is in his past life, but maybe, just maybe, a lot of young men right now, they ain't got a clue about the dating game. And I would say with my recent clips that have gone out, that's probably true. Because I must have spoken about the fact of when you approach a woman and you're trying to talk to her, you might think you've got good chat. You might think you've got game. The truth of the matter is you might not have game. So sometimes women do this thing politely. It could be from a place of being nice. It could come from a place of fear that they will give you a fake number. Yes, as a means of you going away quickly. Or number two, because they feel like they're in a place where they're not safe, that seems like the safest thing to do to, again, make you go away. The reason why I said not to call then and there is because if it's a fake number, what is it that you want to do at that point in time? Is it that you want to confront her? Do you want to cuss her verbally? Do you want to physically hurt her? If it's a fake number, take the L. Charge it to the game, move on. That is why they call it, quote unquote, the dating game. It's a hit or miss. Sometimes you miss more than you hit. But that's just dating. Move on, man. Plenty of fish in the sea. So this is what happened to Harry Pinero. Now, he said, I want to think as a long, long time ago, that he once took a girl on a date to a restaurant called Monkey House. If you're based in London or just England, you would know that Monkey House has a couple pound sterlings to it, okay? Not a cheap place to go to. And she was ordering cocktail after cocktail, 4 in total. She had basically spunk what he came with. So he had to go to the bathroom and ask his friend to transfer £150 to him so he could make sure he could pay for the date. Otherwise, he's going to have to ask a sweet one to go halves. There is nothing more off-putting than a man that hasn't got his ish together. And when I say ish, I'm not talking about you got to be a billionaire and all these unrealistic things you hear online. When I say that there's nothing more off-putting than a man that hasn't got his ish together, I'm talking about the basics. Know what you're doing with your life, where you want to be in your career, what have you acquired? Not acquiring the world, but basics. And one of the basic things that is off-putting if a man hasn't got together in his life is his finances. Get your finances together. Make sure you know how to budget. These are basic things, not unrealistic things. This is a scenario of someone that hasn't budgeted. And let me tell you why. Let's break this down. I'm going to get comfy for this one. Let me take a sip. Hey, sis. I'm going to get these out soon. Let's break this down. Take charge when you're asking someone to go on a date. And the way you take charge, and it's in your favor. Man, them, it's in your favor when you're going out on a date and you can never be short of money because you've taken control of the situation. First things first, you should say where you're going. You lot will complain about, oh yeah, this babe's rinsed me. I spent more than I had planned. That's your fault. No, come closer, come. I repeat, that is your fault. Because you go and say, yeah, where do you want to go? Wrong move. You suggest where you want to go. Now, if you're not someone that likes to go to restaurants often, maybe you're a simple guy, you know, you like the simple things in life, you're not really a restaurateur. That's fine. But Google is your best friend. I remember growing up here, every time I had to ask my mum a question or whatever, she's like, what's the point if we're paying all the broadband in this house? If you kids never freaking Google anything, use Google, it's free. So I was like, all right, cool. Guess who became my best friend? Google. So this is what it is. You think of a restaurant, Google it. Google will have a thing where it's got pound sterlings. It might have 1, it might have 2, it might have 3, it might have 4. When it gets to 4, as my dad would say, know your level. I've had a lot of humbling moments with my dad, God bless him. But the moment that really made me want to change my life, yeah, and it might sound so simple, but it was a life changer for me. And in life, it's good to know your level. Is when I asked my dad, hey, Dad, can you drop me off at the station? Just a quick drop off, please. I'd appreciate it. This ride might have not have been up to 10 minutes for him. My dad looked me dead in the eye and said, you need to go and find your level. And your level is the bus. I've never been so angry before. I was like, rah, like, I'm angry. But then I had to reassess things. I'm like, I'm angry because he told me what my level was. And at that time, it was the bus. So I have no one to be upset with but myself. So I took the bus, humbly. But after that bus ride, guess what I went and did? Your girl went and booked a theory test. That's what she went and did. Your girl went and put money aside and got driving lessons. That's what she did. Your girl went ahead and booked her practical. Did I pass the first time? No. Second? No. Third? Best believe I did. But at the end of the day, my license is pink because I found my level. So when it was time for me to ride the bus, I was riding the bus. And when it was time for me to drive, I drove. But I say this because when it comes to the whole dating game, the people that complain the most are the ones that don't stick to their level. That is why you feel rinsed after the date. That is why you get frustrated when the babe doesn't want to sleep with you, because you did more than you bargained for. And now you want to reap. You want some kind of return so quickly on the first date. Certain people will do up like, oh, yeah, first date, and immediately start suggesting, oh, we should go back to the hotel lobby, get a couple drinks. Well, isn't that convenient? You want to go to the bar situated in the hotel and you just so happen to reserve a room. Don't be that guy. Do not suggest catching drinks or getting a nightcap at the local hotel that just so happens to have a bar at the bottom. Chill. Relax. Yeah? And the best thing in every situation on a date is knowing the vibe. I'll be honest with you. When you know the vibe, you can never go wrong. You will never have the girl coming back and cussing you out in the group chat if you just read the room. And the problem in society is that a lot of people don't have the ability to read the room. It's called social cues. Understand them, learn them, train yourself in that skill set, and you will save yourself a lot of insult in life, I guarantee you. But you know me, as your honorary sister, I'm here to help you. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to break down where you should be going for restaurants, like for your first date, second date, third date, I don't know, based on your pocket. Yeah, I said it. Based on your pocket. There's nothing wrong with being realistic. Normally, the people that get the cussings and get cursed out by girls or just frustrated themselves is because they've presented a version of themselves that doesn't exist, isn't real, or they can only keep up with for so long. Then when the real you comes out, what's the first thing that the babe's going to say? You weren't like this when we first started dating. Your standards have slipped. What's going in, this, that, and the third. I don't want that for you. And I feel like in this day and age, why should you? I remember being in uni, people were forcing themselves to go to the Shard. I've been to a couple restaurants in the Shard, no offense. Shard, if you ever want to cut the check, that's fine. But if I've been to a restaurant that I don't like in the Shard, I wouldn't even force it. It doesn't matter about the postcode. It doesn't matter if it's aesthetically pleasing to quantify why you're paying what you're paying. Because at the end of the day, these things are important on a date. If you're going to make the focal point of the date be the restaurant you go to, then have 3 things in place. The food's got to bang. I'm not saying I'm trying to have 6 courses on your head, but if the food don't bang, the food don't bang. It's going to literally take down the whole tone of the date. So let's the food bang. Secondly, I know I said it doesn't matter, but I meant as in you can't sacrifice the setting for the food. So the restaurant should still be aesthetically pleasing, but the food should be better. So secondly, aesthetically pleasing restaurant. You want to walk up in a place and go, oh, they're cute, lovely. You want your outfit to match. There's nothing worse than being better dressed than the setting you're going to, like overdressed for your setting. It just makes you feel like you've wasted your outfit. And also it's like, my outfit is not deserved in a place like this. No. The setting needs to match me, with all due respect. And third, the customer service. Oof. There is nothing that can ruin a restaurant date than... Yo, hold on. Hold up. You've been watching, you've been listening, but you ain't subscribed. You ain't liked. You ain't dropped a comment. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to do that. Okay. All right, now, let's get back to the episode. My thing is this, yeah. I don't care what kind of job you're doing. There's nothing worse than going on a restaurant date and someone like the waitress, the waiter, front of house. Oh, there's some front of house staff that have an attitude on them. Or bar staff. They're just not happy. And I beg of you, no matter what job you're doing, if you're getting paid to do it, don't be grumpy. I beg of you. Especially when you're in hospitality, you better do something to put a pep in your step or fix up your mood, because one visit to somewhere can ruin the whole brand's identity, especially in a restaurant. Like, put a smile on your face, take a shot of vodka at the back and get with it. So yeah, when it comes to that, those 3 things, the hospitality has to be A1, 2, it has to be aesthetically pleasing, and number 3, the core of it all is the food's going to be banging, because you need to be able to discuss how good the food is and then go into all the other stuff. So I said to myself, let me put something together for you, for me, for everybody. And all of these places I've been to, you think I'm going to recommend you somewhere that me, myself, haven't been to? That would be silly. Otherwise, I want you to win, man. Same way I want you to want me to win is the same way I want you to win. So let's go. I got 3 categories as well. I did my homework, you know, because the situation that Harry Pinero got into is because he went to a place that was above his pay grade at the time. And as my dad would say, you need to find your level in life. Find your level and you never go wrong. So here's the 3 categories that I've got. You got modest, because let's be honest, some guys, they're not flashy. They don't want to be flashy. They don't care to be flashy, but they still care about the babe. So if you still care about the babe, you're going to spring out to go to a restaurant, but you're not trying to break the bank. So I got you. In the modest category, I've got Oaxaca. Oaxaca, there's some Mediterranean, Portuguese type food. I don't know, but it bangs. It's tasty as hell. The drinks are decent. The babe will like it. It's got like a fun type of aesthetic to it, very colourful. All I'm saying is it's a step up from Nando's, all right? First date, if you're talking about Nando's, please tell me that you're at least in 6th form college. That's all I'm saying. Like, Nando's is the quickest of quick bites. It's not giving, I've dressed up to go out on a date with somebody and dare I say it, they want to impress me. If Nando's is your pocket though, do your Nando's humbly. But if you want to impress the babe in the big 2000s, Nando's isn't it. Next up, I gave you Oaxaca. We're talking about Rocker. Bottomless brunch. Although, when you're wording it to the baby, I wouldn't lead the conversation with, let's go to a bottomless brunch, let's go for drinks, because coming closer, mandem, you might not want to hear it. if you're going to take someone out on a date, don't lead with the line, let's go out for drinks. It makes you look cheap, and it also makes it look like you just want to get the babe drunk and do other things afterwards. It can come off as a bit creepy. So it's better to just lead the conversation with, let's go out. Let's go out. You see how that let's go out can be it can be a lot of things. There's a lot of nuances to let's go out. There's a lot of layers to let's go out. But if you say, yo, let's go out for drinks, it's like you're limiting the date, as in, don't be thinking you're going to get a meal out of me. Again, do you want to look cheap, or do you want to look like you genuinely want to spend time with somebody? Hate me if you want, I'm just keeping it real. Last but not least, the food is good, depending on what you get. Let me think. I would say I've tasted the meat dishes. So when it comes to Oaxaca, I've had meat-free dishes, vegetarian dishes, and dishes with meat. That's why I'm recommending it. When it comes to Las Iguanas, don't go there and tell me, Yezzi, I went there and the vegetarian menu wasn't it. I told you I only ate the meats. The reason why I'm recommending Las Iguanas is because the food, as in meat, is good. The drinks keep them coming. The cocktails are doing what the cocktails need to do. You can have a good time. Everybody loosens up. You don't want to be stiff up, because let's be very honest. When you go on a first date, naturally you're going to be shy. You're thinking of all your dinner and manners and table etiquette and all those things. Now, speaking of etiquette, one thing that made me go about Harry Pinero's story, as in HP like the sauce. One thing that had me go is the fact that he said that this babe ordered 4 cocktails. I don't know about you, yeah, but that's a bit much. I'm so sorry, but if you're going out on a date and you're ordering 4 drinks, as in keep them coming, it's a bit mannerless for me. It's a bit mannerless, only because why you feel the need to down 4 drinks like you're a fish, I don't know. Normally for me, and maybe it's an etiquette thing, I don't really like to have more than 2 drinks, especially if they're alcoholic drinks. I'm not trying to look tipsy, nor am I trying to look sloppy on the first date. But I'm talking about my tolerance level. If your tolerance level allows you to have 4 drinks, I still wouldn't do it if it were me. I'm not gonna lie to you. But if you're that babe, go off. As for me, ain't nothing cute ordering 4 cocktails, 4 alcoholic drinks on the first date. It's not cute. You're going to be sloppy. You're going to be all over the place. If I'm lying, you know I'm not. That's what I'm going to say. 4 drinks. All right, then. Some people's intentions are really to take the mic, but hey. So I've given you the modest category. Oaxaca, Roca, Las Iguanas. Let's go on to my why nots. The reason why I call it why not is that you're going to spend some money, but if you're not careful, you could end up spending a lot of money. So it's kind of like, why not? This babe is worth it. Why not? I'm going to start off with my personal fave. I love this place so much. It's in Kensington. It's called Como Garden. COMO. It's Italian. Aesthetics. You know how I was talking about aesthetics before? If you take one babe to Como Garden, she'll be thinking, okay, we classy. I see you. That's why I love it. Aesthetically, the area is pretty cute as well. There's some restaurants that the area it's in is not saying a lot, but when you go inside, it's nice. This place is not the case. Okay, it's got the Ivy like across the street. All these places is nice. It's Kensington. Okay, need I say more? Okay. Food is banging. One thing that stood out for me at Como Garden that I was really impressed with is the front of house. The front of house is nice. They're smiley, but it's not a fake smile. You know, we've all seen a fake smile before. I'm talking about the kind of smile that you could see the smile in the eyes. They were smizing and then they smiled on top of that. They were happy to show you to your seats. You didn't have to say, hey, we're here before they acknowledged your presence when you walked into the restaurant. They were giving personal recommendations because I'm not gonna lie, it's a red flag for me. And I don't know why they allow this. I don't know if there needs to be some kind of training done. It's a red flag for me if I go to a restaurant and I ask them, oh, what would you recommend? Like the waiter or the waitress? And they go, I don't know. So what? You work here, but you don't eat the food. You don't taste the food. You don't have the food on your lunch break. Cap. How are you going to work somewhere, but you don't know how it works or the service you offer? red flag. That wasn't the case at Como Garden. Como Garden, the front of house was lovely, welcoming, aesthetics, cleanliness. That's major. A couple times at different places, I've had to ask for new cutlery. I don't play. And the food bangs, man. Como Garden, you'll love it. Next up, let me take some more. Okay. This place here, it warms my heart because I'm a bit skeptical about places that there's a lot of hype around. Because I'm just like, oh, I hate going when it's all hypey, da da da. Tarshish, the DJ banged. They got the rooftop thing. I don't know what it's called, but it's just tricky. The food is good. Aesthetically, it's those places that you dress up, you're not going to feel out of place because the place matches you. You match the place. Look how I'm looking after you, man. Another place similar to Tarshish, the food bangs, the sea bass. I got 3 places here. I'm going to tell you the 3 places that the sea bass bangs because you see me. I'm a sea bass type of gal. A lot of people like to do the steak, lamb chops and that. If you find a place that does a good sea bass, green flags. Green. Beige. That was a good one. Number 5 dining. I will say this though. If you do not drive, don't bother going number 5 dining. I'll be so real with you. Do not go. There's some things that you got to know your level. Number 5 dining is one of them. Not because of the price, but it's one of those places that adds up though, price-wise. But if you don't drive, it's like a suffer mission. Don't bother. Nice place though, I will say that. I like the entertainment. Not only do they have a DJ, they got belly dancers, they got a magician. Yeah, they got a magician. It's nice though, because sometimes you're waiting for your drinks, you're waiting for your appetizers. Next thing you know, magician pops out of nowhere. You're like, yeah, this is a bit of me. Bit of entertainment on the side. And another one is Gaucho. I want to say an honourable shout out to Gaucho because Gaucho is one of those ones, if you're not careful, will add up. Not that it's my business. Not that it affects me. Because, you know, when your girl's going to the restaurant, she ain't paying. Just straight. But it can easily add up. At the end of the day, I can see the menu as well. So I know how many pounds sterling has been invested in a date. You get. Gaucho is good. They do a mean steak. The settings are good. And I don't know why, but nowadays I'm getting more and more into low lit restaurants. Only because when it's low lit, you just feel like it's just you and your date there. You don't remember everyone else around. It's nice, it's intimate, it's cozy, it's très cute, you know. So that's my why not category. Como Garden in Kensington, Tarshish in Turnpike Lane, number 5 dining in Hornsby, and Gaucho. Anywhere, it bangs. We in the baller shot caller category now. Let's get it. Now for my baller shot caller, hooty hoo, I'm going to start up. One that you probably thought I wouldn't mention, but I'm not going to lie. Entertainment, the food bangs unexpectedly because sometimes when you see the portion sizes, you're thinking, is that going to fill me up? But it does. The settings are cute because when you're sat at a certain table, you see the entertainment, but you're kind of mixed with other people and it's nice, you engage, all that stuff. It's an oldie but a goodie. We might have forgotten this one, but it's Benihana. Think about it. It's been a while since you've been there, but the last time you were there, it was good, wasn't it? Exactly. Don't rule out Benihana. Now, Benihana, the reason why I say it's the baller shot caller, it's in Chelsea. If you live in London, you already know what time it is. I've been to a sandwich shop in Chelsea. It was different. It was one of those 24-hour ones. It's a whole thing. I wish I could remember the name. Good times. It's always a good time when you're not paying. The next one, there used to be a lot of hype around this one, but the food bangs though. I'm glad the hype is gone because instead of people like standing in the way and taking bare pictures, not that I wasn't one of them. I was. But this one's a really good one. It's a nice bridge. It's called Buddha Bar. I like a bit of Buddha Bar. I keep going back to Buddha Bar. The food bangs. The drinks are good as well. I had a banging sea bass at Buddha Bar. Shout to them. And aesthetically, it's good. It is low lit. But their low lit is a different level of low lit, as in don't even bother taking a selfie if you are melanated. Just go, enjoy the food. If you just so happen to have lighting, good on you. If you don't bother. And last but not least is Nomad. Nomad in Covent Garden. The reason why I like it is because you get your restaurant area. And then if you want to, you see when I was talking about earlier, the creeps that want to say, oh yeah, let's go and get a nightcap and get drinks at a hotel lounge or whatever. You don't need to do that because they got the bar right there. A pretty cozy one at that. So no need to go anywhere else after this date if you wanted to have a quote unquote nightcap. See, now, I'm not the type of person that's just going to come and criticize, not give you recommendations. That's the recommendations. But let's go back to the whole dating scene now. Because I was naming the easy bits. Yeah. The easy bit is picking the restaurant. That's where you take control. You go to the restaurant. But how you commute there and everything in between, these little things are going to be picked up on. Are you going to get a cab? Are you going to drive? When you're driving, parking-wise, with women wearing heels, don't be cheap and thinking you can just park down the road or whatever. Get the closest parking space possible and make it known. I'm just dropping game. I'm dropping tips. Make it known that you are purposefully trying to get the closest parking space possible because you want to consider the fact that she's made such an effort, so much so that she's worn heels and you don't want her to walk too far. Boom. See what I did there? Tickets. Make your reservation though. Because I was talking about the fact that there's nothing more off-putting than a man that hasn't got his ish together. Not only financially, but also organization-wise. I'm not saying to be the most organized person in the world. I'm not the most organized person in the world. But you got to make your reservation. Unless you are someone that goes to this restaurant a lot, especially if you're going between Thursday through Sunday, don't think you can just walk up into good restaurants like that after 6 o'clock. You better make a reservation because you're the same person that won't make a reservation feeling like you don't need to, whatever. You walk up in there, when they say, oh, sorry, it's going to be an hour wait or we don't have any tables available, you're going to be the one looking sorry for yourself like the world is against you. You have yourself and yourself to blame only. And the date you're with is thinking, what a joke. Like, you got to gather yourself together, man. This is what life is about, and dating is about a lot of first impressions. You have the first impression. That's what got you the number in the first place. Now, this is where the work starts. The continuous first impressions is in the first date impression, the first holiday impression, the first birthday impression, the first Valentine's impression. Do you see where I'm going with this? Cool. Once you actually get in the date, you're eating the food, you can do whatever you want to do. If you've gone and got an activity, you sprung out for that, like the theatre or whatever kind of thing you're doing, maybe a concert, I don't know. Or maybe there's entertainment there. You've gone to like a Ronnie Scott's, whatever. We'll talk about that in another video. Cool. That gives you so much material to talk about. You know what kind of date I've enjoyed the most? It's the date where you're like, you either go to dinner and a comedy show, or do you go to a comedy show and then dinner afterwards? Mate, all the material's right there in the comedy show. You are laughing and giggling about the whole thing the whole way through. And then you can start getting to know each other in between, because no one wants to go on a date, even women. And if I'm lying, boy, I'm only speaking facts. No one likes to go on a date and feel like they're being interrogated or that you're trying to get into their life. I don't feel like a first date is where you start talking about salaries or where you start talking about trauma. I'm not trying to do trauma bonding with you on the first date. Relax. Trauma bonding, not that I'm saying you should advocate for it, but let's say getting to know someone and not surface level, you're going in deep. That's something that you get over time when you get to know somebody and it comes out naturally, or something happens that triggers the memory and they discuss it. Not, so what's the worst thing that happened to you? What was your childhood like? Even if you're a qualified therapist, don't do that. Or psychologist, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Unless you lot are on so much of the same page, it works, but don't do that. I think one of the cringiest things you can do on a first date is talk about your type, because if the person sat in front of you, you obviously like them for them. If you start talking about, oh yeah, you're just my type, or you're my type of, don't do that, please. Because now the whole time I'm thinking about, oh, you don't really like me, you just like the fact that I fit into your type. There will not be a date number 2. I'm so sorry. No, think about it. You think I'm being harsh? If you're sat at a first date, you've been talking beforehand, you guys are getting on well, everything's going great. You finally get in front of each other in a formal setting, and all they can bang on about is how you fit into their image, a preconceived image of somebody, or it could even be an ex. Imagine the whole time you're thinking about how convenient it is that I fit into your image of the person that you loved and lost. Oh no. No, 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 no. This is going nowhere and fast. Sorry, not sorry. Think about it. You should only be talking about the things that person has, or they've acquired, or they do, and that's great for them, and that's why you like that about them, because of something they already possess. Sometimes people go on and on, they don't even know what they're saying. It's kind of cringy. I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to dates, though, I like them. I like opportunities to get to know people. It's now rounding up on a date. Let's just say the average date is about 3 hours. 3 hours. If you're getting on really well, it can be hours long. But let's just say you're bog standard. I meet you, we sit down, we eat, we round it up, everyone goes their way. Maybe you're very busy people. 3 to 4 hours. Doesn't mean you didn't enjoy the date, but you got the core of it done. I mean, how much talking are you going to do without having the opportunity to have further dates to talk and get to know each other? Cool. In those 3 hours, when it's time to round it up, it should be a thing of, if you like them, this is the guy. Round it up in a way where you're like, I am rounding it up because I respect your time and I'm appreciative of your presence. But I also want you to know I want you to see you again. I want to see you again. There's nothing wrong on the date. She already likes you. Well, I would hope so. To be fair, I've been on the first date and I didn't like him. And I knew I would not be seeing him again. And then he said, oh, I can't wait to see you on the second date. Ah, well, hit or miss. I'll tell you why that was a miss. But if she likes you, do not be afraid to say, oh, you know what, when are you free again? Or I'm going to hit you up at some time in the week, and then we can put a plan in motion as to the next time I see you. Let me tell you why the hit you up later on in the week is great. Because if you call her again and she picks up, it means that the first date went so well. She thought about it. She knows she likes you, and she definitely wants to go on a second date. Perfect. So by the time she picks up, you're good. Or if she doesn't pick up and she returns your call, you are good. The reason why that date I was talking about was a miss is because you're trying to plan the second date on the first date. We ain't even rounded up on the first date. And what you don't know is that you will not be seeing me again. The reason why he should have known there would be no second date is because I didn't pick up his call. I didn't pick up his call. I was airing. When I say the air was strong. And then he went and called me on a number I didn't know and was like, oh, swear? Okay. So you're ignoring me, yeah? You see how I clocked the madness from early? That's why I didn't pick up the phone call to begin with. I saw the madness and I felt the energy. And he should have felt the energy too. Once you call someone or text them, after, round up, don't even talk about it. Just say, you know, I hope to see you again. After that's rounded up, everyone's gone to their yard. Once you call or you text them and they return it, you're good. You're good. I can guarantee you that. If you have a first date with somebody and the first date has rounded up and you call or text them and they're not hitting you back, forget about it. Dead in the water, take the L, charge it to the game. Do not waste your time. But if you rounded up the first date, you didn't put any pressure on seeing you again, or I got to know where you live and all this stuff, and you text and call, and they pick up and they text on time, they respond within the day. I'm not going to say within an hour. Within the day, you're good. You can go ahead and say, when am I seeing you again? People try to act like dating is mad complicated and hard and you know, I can't wrap my mind around this dating game and people aren't clear. People are so clear. The dating game is very clear. You just chose to ignore it. You call and they text. You call and you text, they don't return it, they don't like you. You ask to see them, they don't make plans to see you. They don't like you. I don't know what more to say. It's your birthday. They've made no plans with you for your birthday. They don't care about you. Dating is very black and white. You just ignored all the signs. Because there's a way in which you think the world works that it doesn't work. And all these years, you're trying to make it work the way you want it to work. That's not how the world works. Okay, you like him, but he doesn't like you. Move on. But in your head, you're like, no, but I like him and I want him, so it's got to be him. Who said so? Oh, you did? Oh, okay. That's not how the world works, though. Same with when you take a date to Monkey House. I mean, it's pretty impressive, though. He didn't have money. Asked his friend for 150. The friend transfers over 300. I mean, that's some good friends. I don't know anyone that would transfer double the amount. But why you're taking someone to Monkey House? You can't take the Monkey House the first time. You squeeze to take them first time. Then you try to take them to Sexy Fish the second time. Then the third time you take them to Novikov. The lifestyle's going to show. That's the good thing about lifestyle, because lifestyle is an everyday occurrence. So sooner or later, the babe will know what your lifestyle is. Yeah, you can put your best foot forward. That's great. But if you don't want to catch insult, you can calculate how you be flashy and moments where you push the boat out. So when you travel and things like that, you know, push the boat out, special occasions, push the boat out, whatever. But your everyday life, you either got to work your ass off to be that level that you want to be, to put your best foot forward, or you say, this is me for now. Are you with it or nah? So you can at least give someone the choice of choosing who they want to be with, as opposed to making someone fall in love or like an image that you've projected that doesn't even exist. I mean, all in all, if everyone was just honest with each other, like, let me break it down. If everyone were honest with one another when it came to dating, would people complain so much so later down the line? I think not. But that's the thing about society. Everyone's always going to put up an image that they feel like they should put out there as opposed to being themselves. It's like a never-ending stream of just depression, anxiety, all these things that are rooted from the fact of you just not being comfortable with who you are as a person. That's why when you fall in love, it's sweet. You know why? Because you're with someone that loves you for who you are, the good, the bad, the ugly, on your good days, your not so good days. And then when you're in love, they're the actual person that lifts you up your spirit, like lifts you up and out of it. That's why everyone's trying to aspire to love, but you can't aspire to love if your foundation is based on lies. I'm going to round it up here, you know, but hey, you have been listening to another episode of Hey Sis. Final takeaway. I think I pretty much said it, but my final takeaway when it comes to dating from a man, for men, from the perspective of a woman, before you try to get on my neck, the final takeaway would be, there's nothing wrong with spoiling someone. There's nothing wrong with putting your best foot forward. If that's what you want to do, then make sure you're able to be organized with your finances and make sure you're organized with how you plan the date. For women, make sure you know who you're dating. So if you got to put all the steps together in regards to, okay, you know what he does for work, but you know the type of places he's taking you to, does it add up? Is either illegal activity or that lifestyle that you're seeing at first is going to wear off sometime soon. So ask yourself, are you prepared for when that lifestyle wears off, the one you've seen? And do you know which one's the actual reality? And are you happy with the actual lifestyle? Because there's no point in you moaning, talking about, yeah, I got 100 other brothers that want to do ba ba ba. As my pops would say, find your level. Anyway, before you go, make sure you like, make sure you drop a comment, make sure you share. We're almost there, you know. And before you go, we are exclusively on Spotify. You can listen to this on Spotify Spotify, if you were listening or just watching, then you can listen there. And you can listen to other episodes as well. So easy. You could be cooking and just listening to us. Is that good? Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Until then, make sure you have a blessed week. And if there's anything that's going on that you're like, yo, Yezzy, AY, hey sis, speak on this one, I'd really appreciate it. Then send us a DM on our Instagram page, heysis_UK, or drop a comment on YouTube. I'm going to make sure that we keep our eyes open for all those messages. Until then, you've been listening or watching to Hey Sis. Stay blessed.
Like a queen, and I like what I see, and I wanna get more of that.
I undress and he blows success. Lay down as you decompress. Come on and forget the stress. Got the 9 to 5 cause he tryna change his life. He can't help it but to show his bad side. So you call me Jesse when he want that good ride. Follow my stride, you know you want a good time. Pick any card, I know it won't decline.